and Russ told has one question. He said, if I do this, Pat Puckett's not going to be here handcuffing herself to my conference table. And I remember thinking, now that's Paul.
I've got to respond to that.
Yeah. You done it now.
Actually, my name's Hunter Hurst. I talked to Russ Sunday afternoon, and he sends his regrets from New Mexico that he can't be here. But he reminded me. Now, Pat's would tell this story a little differently than me. Pat and I got kicked out of a restaurant in Augusta 27 years ago.
And we were not drunk.
We were not drinking. It was a good day. She maintained it was because of how loud I got. I maintained it was because of her cussing. Now, some of you may not know that she curses. Is there anybody that didn't know that? Could cuss the paint off an automobile. And she was chewing me out. Russ had asked me to represent the state and asked Pat to represent an individual, and we were trying to work out a community plan. And it finally did work out. But Russ was actually laughing about that because he would force us often when things were going on to go check with Pat and come back. We didn't necessarily have to have her buy-in. But we had to make sure she wasn't going to chain herself to the desk. So Russ sends his love and regards, and that was 27 years ago. And we've fussed and fought a little bit since then.
Not much.
And but we worked together on an awful lot. And, so that was a fun set of relationships, and there's nobody in this state whose phone call I won't take anytime, 24 hours a day. There's nobody who I know when they call isn't going to be asking for something. It's at least a little bit hard to do, and I'm always glad to do it. I think this is a room full of people like that. I think most of these people are people who've gotten that phone call and they did for you. And Pat, that's a heck of a compliment. And I know you're not gone, so I got the email. We love you.
You're not going to tell about the first time I talked to you.
Absolutely, that's my story.
No.
So 25 years ago, I was a lot thinner, a lot younger, and had a lot more hair. And I had just come to work. I mean, since we keep talking about Pat's cussing, I first came to work for the council. They wanted me to write their strategic plan. So 25 years later, I'm still writing that plan. But I called. So Z.D. Schmidt at the time, who was the director, said, "You got to call Pat Puckett and talk to her." So I did. And I started to tell her about, I thought I knew what I was doing in terms of strategic planning. And I'm talking to her and asking her things, and she finally said, you probably know everything that's possible that you need to know. And I said, no, we really got to go out and talk to people. And I got cussed at and yelled at so loud until she finally hung up the phone on me. So that was my introduction to Pat Puckett 25-some years ago. Now, I will tell you that today, she's been one of my greatest teachers, and that's a compliment. I've learned quite a bit from this lady, and I think we all have in everything that we do. And really, the progress that's been made for people with disabilities, not only in this state but across the country, is because of people like Pat and others that have stood up when it was the right thing to do, and sometimes had to force people to do what they didn't want to do. So I thank you really for all that you've taught me and all that you've taught the rest of us in this room over the last, I haven't been around 40 years. I'm not even 40 years old yet. So, but for at least the last 25 years. So we love you. Toast to you, Pat. Thank you.
Hello. I'm Leanne Pendergrass. I'm from the old days. I dyed my hair now. But I want to tell you about Pat. I remember coming to Georgia before. Didn't want to move here, I'm sorry, but I did not want to move. I'm quiet?
A little closer to your mouth.
Put it what?
Put the microphone closer to your mouth, please.
Oh, put it close to my mouth. Okay, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I met Pat, and I was having a job with in independent living, and it was like the stepsister of VR. I'm sorry. if anybody lives in VR. But it was the steps to VR at the county. I met Pat, we talked, and she was encouraged me to apply for a job as an independent living coordinator for the state of Georgia. So I looked at her and I said, do I have to be elected? I said, I'm not doing that. There's a line. I don't cross that line. I said, but I'll work from the inside, you work from the outside. Together, we can make a difference. And then we had Shirley Addy. We had Shirley. And Shirley's not here with us anymore. But she was blind. And it was Helen Keller, her and me, and Pat. We would go out to eat in a restaurant. And the waitress, or server, I think, now they call them servers, right? Would look at me and say, what do they want to eat? Now, I'm the one who can't hear. Right? And I'm looking at Pat, I'm looking at Shirley, and I'm going, why don't you ask them? And that's how it was for many, many years. And Pat, I love you dearly. And I thank you for everything you've done for the state. And I know you had a lot of help. But without your leadership, it wouldn't have been done. We love you.